Hi, folks. Welcome back for another episode of Finding Data Friends. We are super honored today to have another new friend with us. Deborah, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Deborah Melkin. I live in the Boston, Massachusetts area of the United States. I've been here for a very long time, came up for college, stuck around. I've been working with the Microsoft Data Platform for over 20 years, and I am a board member of the New England SQL Server User Group, which is the local Microsoft Data Platform user group. I'm also a member of the Azure Data Community Council. Um, and let's see, I am a Microsoft MVP. I'm still kind of very intimidated by that. So hopefully I'll eventually live up to that goal. It just means I like talking tech and sharing what I know with other people. Let's see what else. I think that's it. I'm sure there's other
Deborah
things that I'm
might
missing.
Deborah might as well be possibly the last ever winner of Speaker Idol.
I am. I think I'm still the reigning champion.
Mm,
Yes,
Yeah.
you are.
awesome.
And
What year was that?
it doesn't look like there's going to be one anytime soon. So you may hold on to
Yeah.
that title for quite
Oh,
a bit.
Excellent. That was 2019.
okay.
So I
Awesome.
was really excited because I'm like speaker idol winner. I think I was also an IDR ace and just been named that. I'm like, I'm going to go speak everywhere. And then along came a pandemic, and
Yeah, that
well,
happens.
we shift, right?
I think we all had grand plans right before that happened, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh well,
Yeah, it's all good. I think you're getting back to it now, right?
starting to.
Awesome.
Again, SQL Saturdays and Data Saturdays are starting to come back up. It's a little harder to travel to them, but I'm still finding other ways to do things.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Cool. So you said you've been working in the data platform field for over 20 years at this point. So
Yeah.
it should be you should have plenty of things to choose from for our first question, which is what your favorite data thing is.
My favorite data thing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I always find it
We
hard, but
caught her totally off
I
guard
know
here. Had no idea this was
there's
coming.
so many things because I'm trying to think like, what do I play with? What do I like doing? And some of my favorite things are actually kind of the basic things. Like, my favorite data thing is a well-designed database. Put those constraints in there. Like, I'm team foreign key constraints. Like, I understand why
Nice.
you want to drop them, whatever, but they're they do so many good things. Like your execution plans can use them. It helps make sure you have data integrity. Someone who doesn't know your database can look at your schema and say, oh, this is how everything's related. And it's just a simple little thing that, uh, it's one of many things I like, but a well designed database with proper constraints.
I like them.
I'm not sure Deborah's going to want to be friends with me anymore after hearing this.
Do,
Are
do
you
you not like
anti-foreign
foreign?
keys?
No, I'm not anti foreign keys. I'm just lazy.
Oh, well, there's
I
lots
don't
of that.
mind if they're there, but I don't add them.
You're not going to go out of your way to put them there.
Nah.
Perfect.
Do you at least put, other constraints like primary keys, make sure your tables aren't heaps?
I
Oh,
mean,
I hear
I'm
silence.
moving on. Next question.
this is getting awkward.
I know.
Okay.
I'm shocked. I'm learning new things
We're all
about you,
friends
Ben.
here. We're all friends here.
That's
Yeah,
true.
and that's the thing. I'm concerned, but I hope so. Please,
Of
can we
course.
still be friends?
Well, of course we can still be friends.
This isn't recorded, so no one will know.
No, no.
Phew.
In
That would have
fairness,
been
you're
another
in.
crazy idea, doing a podcast that is not getting recorded. I mean, how fun would that have been?
That would have been fun. I think you're in charge of editing, so you can just cut out the bits you want. Just put some new text in there.
And all of a sudden you
True,
hear
true.
you see Ben's lips moving and different words coming out over
Yeah,
audio.
exactly. Some kind of music, hold music.
Welcome to the first episode that is making entire huge use of deepfakes.
There we
Perfect.
go.
So wait, can we do
Hi,
the
I'm Deborah.
podcast
I
and
hate
you?
foreign keys. Oh, this would be fun.
Can you change and do the podcast just with fake versions of us? This
I'm
goes
pretty sure. Well, let. I'm pretty sure I can't. I'm pretty sure there's people who can.
right. Okay. Great. Perfect.
If you know how to do that, please reach out. My number is no.
Oh dear. Yeah, I think quite often we get a favorite data thing as like a tool rather than a technique or a kind of
Yeah.
best practice even. So that's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad you like that one. I mean, tools are
Yeah,
interesting
yeah.
though, because like it's funny. I was talking with a coworker this week about tools and just like basic, how do you use them? Like, oh, I didn't know you could do that, and it's just like we forget the stupid little things. Like if you use a tool,
Mm-hmm.
like how can you make Management Studio work better? That little mapping feature if you have a long script, or
Yeah.
what other options are available. I mean, it really is amazing the little things that would be helpful to people that we just kind of like, oh yeah, oh wait, you didn't know that? Oh, we should really share that with people.
One of my favorite things of watching screen shares, like with my coworkers, even is how they move around a tool, right? Like the shortcuts they use and the things they do in Management Studio or Azure Data Studio or wherever that I'm in every day. That I'm like, oh wait, how did you do that? It's like there's so
Yeah.
many shortcuts and tips and stuff. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, absolutely.
And I
I
think
think I've
that that is a very important point because thinking back to our very first contestant or guest or friend ever here on the show, Rosie, who told us a story of how she's self-taught, but only I'm not super recently, but rather recently compared to 20 plus years in the field,
Mm-hmm.
joined the field. We always make these assumptions. Well, we've been all been doing this so long, everybody knows that, and if they're not doing this properly, they're just a slacker as myself. However, that is not the case. There's so many, and also as we're trying to get new people into our field, into our community, whenever I hear people like, "Well, I have nothing more to talk about, I have nothing more to blog about, I have nothing more to," or whatever. That is not true because when you've been in the field for so long, there's so many stories that you can share, and they may seem basic to us, and they're entirely not basic to many other people.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, with the growing field, you may have all the experience in the DBA field, but have no idea on how stuff like Power BI works. So,
Totally.
yeah, there is a need for the basic things and the 100 and 200 sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, my past summit session this past year was part of the learning path for, kind of the intro path, and mine was
Mm-hmm.
about the tools. What tools do you want to use for this? Because every tool has their, even the basic stuff. Like you're going to want to Azure Data Studio. You may want to use it for different things than you'd want for Management Studio versus
Yeah.
when you want Visual Studio or even VS Code. So it's like, how do you know which ones to do? I mean, some of it's going to be personal choice, but some of it, if you don't even know that those tools are options for you, you wouldn't know that, hey, this may help you a little more than maybe this one would.
Yeah. I think also just listening to people describe the same topic, they're both going to, like, multiple people are going to describe it in a different way, right? And that's going to stick for some people and not for others. And so I think even if you know about indexes and you go to like a intro to indexes or basic indexing, you're probably going to still learn things that you hadn't thought about in a certain way from that speaker. Yeah.
Yeah. My thought is always, when you go to a session, you want to come away with one new thing. Even if you think you
Mm-hmm.
know the topic, just find that one new thing, whether it's something new entirely or a different way to think about what you already know. And it'll make
Yeah.
you a better uh, database platform professional, I guess is what we're saying these days.
DPP.
DPP.
Perfect. That'll catch on.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of the Pass Summit, are we going to see you at the Pass Summit this year as well?
You are. I'm actually excited. I'm going to be part of a learning path again. And this is one I'm excited with because I'm with Jeff Iannucci and Andy Yoon. So we're going to be doing, oh, wait, why am I blocking on the name? I'm embarrassed. But we're talking about real world solutions. So to performance issues, because again, we talk about like the theoretical stuff, but always like putting things into practice. So, yeah, so I'm excited. I've got 2 sessions as part of that learning track. So it'll be very exciting. And I think it's good because I think we've tried to put our sessions together in a progressive way that makes sense. So hopefully we
Mm-hmm.
can all build off everything. So I'm looking forward
That's
to
cool.
that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I like that entire idea of those learning paths, and I think it will still take probably a couple of years for people to fully grasp the idea of that and really consume that entire
Mm-hmm.
path in its entirety, etc. But we will get there. We will get there.
Yeah.
No. Any favorite non-data features or any favorite non-data things? I mean, we all work with data all the time and
Sure.
24/7 and all this, but let's just assume for 1 second you were not. I know it's hypothetical and all that, but let's
Yeah.
just assume.
I know, right? Um, let's see. Favorite non-data feature, music. We'll go with that. I love to sing. I've been singing in a choir for a very, very long time. Um, when I can, I try to go to bluegrass jams around here. So I love to sing and play guitar horribly. Maybe eventually I'll get some lessons. But I've been doing that, and I love doing that. It's a lot of fun. I also do, a couple ad hoc ensembles here and there. I'm Jewish, and I'm actually doing a high holiday cantorial soloist gigs. So pretend I'm a cantor and get up there and sing for everyone. So yeah, so it.
Very
I love,
cool.
you know, just love to sing. You know.
This is
That is
great news.
amazing news because I mean our band is growing and growing and growing.
Exactly.
There's a
So
band.
The Finding
there's a
Data
band.
Friends band.
Excellent. All right. Are there auditions? Please say no.
Oh, yes. At this point, I'm pretty sure we will need to do some rehearsals. You will be
Rehearsal
singing
is
a
fine.
duet with
Yeah.
Hugo.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like awesome. I would do
We
that.
also
You will
have a
be accompanied
saxophone.
by Lisa and by Olivier. So, and I'm sure there will be way more. So the reunion episode will be all about music.
Perfect.
I'm down for that.
And
Yeah.
snacks,
Let's
right?
do. Oh,
Well,
you can't
every
rehearse and
episode
not
is
have
about
snacks.
snacks.
Just
I
making
mean,
sure. I've got no
it's just
musical talent, so I'm just coming to eat the snacks.
just like you are working out so you can have the food, others are rehearsing music so they can have the
Smart.
food. I
I
assume.
like it.
S- Singing is a full body sport because you're standing, you got to make sure you've got the right posture, you're making sure that you're engaging, so you can properly get the air support that you need. It's a full body sport. So,
I believe it.
I'll go with that.
That's cool.
Nice. I like. Oh, this is coming together quite nicely. By
Excellent.
the end of the first season, so by the end of the first 250 episode, we're gonna have a big band.
There we go.
Check back in 5 years, folks.
How did you do the math so quickly?
I just made up a
250
number and
divided by
hoped.
50. Damn.
She's good.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Speaking of snacks.
Good segue. Snacks. So, Deborah, one of the last questions we like to ask all of our guests, if you may or may not know that we have accidentally kidnapped some of them. Some people have just got into the van on their own, so not technically
Most of
kidnapping.
them.
Most of
All
them,
right.
yeah.
Sure.
A few early ones we kidnapped, but then people just wandered on in. But
People heard we have snacks.
we do have
This
That's
is what
snacks.
probably
happened.
it.
What would you say your favorite food is?
My favorite food. I mean, oh, there's too many options. I would wait. This should be easier, but it's not. Because I
I
like
mean, you can do
fruit.
what Brian did and just say all food.
Yeah,
But
Well, there's
slow
certain
food,
foods
wasn't
I'm
it?
picky about. Like if you have like fish on a plate, first of all, I'm very picky about fish. But if it's my food's looking at me, I kind of have issues with it.
Okay, so we've
I
gone for
mean,
non-favorite food. So
yeah, we've gone for
all
number. Just
food that
any
isn't
fish
looking at
that's
you.
right, food
Okay,
that's not
great.
looking at me.
That's even
um,
more broad than last week.
you'd be surprised at how many times you show up. No, anyway, um, I mean, I a good pasta dish would probably lure me onto a van. Like,
Okay.
hey, Deborah, here's some nice lasagna. Do you want to try it?
Mm,
And that could work. I mean,
I love a
chocolate.
lasagna.
Yeah,
A chocolate
I have a
lasagna?
just
not chocolate. Well, that could happen, and that could be really tasty depending on who bakes it. Depending on like, I could see that maybe it's not like pasta, but you could use like graham crackers. I'm
Okay.
seeing a s'more chocolate
I was
being
gonna
formed.
say.
A s'more type lasagna being formed will create a new dessert for this too, and that will really
Right.
lure people in. They'll be like, "There's chocolate, there's marshmallows, and graham crackers." Like,
A small
I,
casserole. A small
yeah,
lasagna. I
you can
think this
even
could
put.
work.
I think
I
so.
have
You could
two
throw
things
like.
I want to say. First of all, Gianluca, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. I have no words. I'm sorry. I hope we still can be friends.
Maybe there's
I
a
also have
pineapple layer.
I,
A separate
oh
one.
oh whoa 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 whoa. I will pretend I did just not hear that. Anyways, I have a logistical question because Deborah made it sound like we're actually cooking for her. I thought people are cooking for us. What is happening? I mean,
Ah,
do we now have to provide the food to lure people into the van? I thought people were just getting on the van and bringing food for us. I mean,
If you're kidnapping people,
hello.
you got to lure them. I'm just saying.
Technicalities, but I
Huh.
don't know how to make a
Technicality.
chocolate lasagna.
We'll make it. There's
Potatoes,
got to be a
adductions.
recipe somewhere.
Same.
Hmm.
This is weird. I did not read the kidnapping manual properly, apparently. So
Clearly.
No, that's why we got an
we will
RV
get
though,
back to
right,
you
with a
on that.
kitchen.
There's that. So we're providing the utilities, but people are cooking for us. Is that kind of
Well, perhaps the people we've already kidnapped can make food for the next victim.
That's
It's
So,
kind of a,
so
like passing it forward, but the opposite.
yeah.
it's
Also, I
Stockholm
would prefer
syndrome.
we do not call them victim, just
Oh,
because
sorry,
we would
friends.
then have to rebrand the entire thing to
You're
finding
right.
data
You're right.
victims, and then I
Past
have to
friends can make
re-edit.
food for the new friends. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Better. I
Right.
like that.
Right. Expanding the friendship circle.
Exactly. We actually
I'm
had a
so
previous
glad you could
guest
work
that
that out.
spent some time in Milan, so there should be some Italian cooking
That'd be
skills
nice.
available.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Elena will not be making chocolate lasagna with pineapple for us, and I'm very grateful that she won't. However, well,
I will
anyways.
reach out and see.
Please don't.
Okay.
Feel free to reach out, but don't ask about that specific thing.
Okay.
Please.
It's a
Still
good
saying
test to
there's
see. Sorry, I was going to say it's a good test to see if she's watched future episodes after she was a guest. If she's like,
Ha!
"What on earth are you on about?" She hasn't watched this episode.
Yeah.
Good
I'm
point,
still
good.
just saying there's got to be a recipe out on the internet somewhere for something like this. Like,
I'm sure there is.
you
Yeah,
know,
there's also the explanation on the internet how to build a nuclear bomb that does not say you should do that.
Just because you
I,
can doesn't mean you should.
I'm getting the impression, Ben, you're not a fan of this idea.
He'll be totally on board. Once we got chocolate everywhere, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no meat in it. It's vegetarian.
That is a very good point. I guess I'll just dig in.
Great.
With that, we are nearing the end of this episode before there's more very weird ideas coming out.
Smart.
We get to see Deborah at the PASS Summit, as we've just
Yeah.
learned, so I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there and my new friends here.
Yes.
Yay.
And with that, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me.
And we
This
look
was
forward
fun.
to the reunion episode with the choir and the big band and all our
Chocolate
other
lasagna.
Excellent. So there.
Thanks, folks.
and chocolate lasagna. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.